Good afternoon, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Drew Jets Show. And after today's 23-6 loss to the Seattle Seahawks, the New York Jets have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. So let's go ahead and talk about the good and the bad from today's loss. So since we lost, we do have to start off with the good. And entering today's game, Garrett Wilson only needed 4 yards to reach the 1,000-yard mark on the season. And he didn't get 4. He got 18. So Garrett Wilson is the New York Jets' first rookie wide receiver to ever have 1,000 yards in a season, and the first Jets wide receiver to have 1,000 yards since 2015, when Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker both did it. So congratulations, Garrett Wilson, and his future is very, very bright. Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed also were locked down today. No Seahawks wide receiver had more than 2 catches in 15 yards. They were locked down. Sauce Gardner had 4 pass deflections, and DJ Reed didn't even have a tackle today. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if DJ Reed was targeted a single time in today's game. Absolutely insane. But that's it for the good things. But moving right along to the bad, the offense was awful today. I can't remember the last time an NFL team, a college team, a high school team, a Pop Warner team, a flag football team has scored 6 points and expected to walk away with the win. It never happens. And the way this offense has been playing the past 2 weeks basically makes me think they don't want to make it to the playoffs. They just want a higher draft pick. And I mean, if that's what they want, they definitely accomplished their goal because the playoffs are officially out of reach. We're eliminated from playoff contention. And we've been saying the same 2 things about the offense all season long and why they've been playing bad. We've been blaming it on the quarterback and we've been blaming it on the offensive coordinator. And those 2 things applied today. Mike White, who was supposed to be our savior, who we were hyping up all week long, played awful. He completed 23 of his 46 passes for 240 yards, tossed 2 interceptions, and didn't reach the 200-yard mark until the final 2 minutes of the game. Mike White looked like a backup quarterback today because that's what he is. We overrated him so much because what, he had a 400-yard game last year, a 300-yard game twice this season, and led the New York Jets to a 3-touchdown win against the Chicago Bears, who are probably going to have the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft. I mean, we overrated Mike White. This is not a dude you can expect to win you these big games or you can depend on consistent play from because he's a backup quarterback. He might give you a good game from time to time, which Mike White has done, but overall, you're not really going to see amazing play from Mike White. And we just overrated him so much. It's absolutely insane. And the play calling today was bad because the Seattle Seahawks have the 2nd worst run defense in the NFL. Heading into this game, they allowed 155 yards per game on the ground. So Mike White decides, let's pass it 46 times and run it 17 at times. I understand the New York Jets are passing a lot in this game because, well, we were behind by so much. We lost this game by 3 possessions. But earlier in the game, when this thing was a bit closer, why do you decide to not run the ball as much? Especially not run the ball as much with Ty Johnson, who was really the only Jets running back having success. He finished the day with 8 carries for 46 yards, average 5.8 yards a carry. Zonovan Knight, who had the same exact amount of carries as Ty Johnson, finished with 27 yards and 3.4 yards a carry. I mean, sure, we gave it to Bam Knight once, had 19 yards, but outside of that carry, couldn't do anything. Ty Johnson had multiple rushes of over 5 yards, over 10 yards, and I just don't know why the New York Jets strayed away from him. And we've been doing it so much this season, just not giving Ty Johnson the ball. A guy who's been on the team since 2020. Why are we trusting Zonovan Knight more, an undrafted free agent rookie, and not Ty Johnson? It just doesn't make sense to me. And maybe if the New York Jets would have ran the ball a bit more, we would have saw more success in this game. And I don't know why we didn't bring in Chris Streveler as well. I mean, in the 2nd quarter, whenever Mike White just wasn't getting this offense clicking, when sparks aren't flying, when the offense had no life, that's when you put in Chris Streveler, who gave the Jets offense life last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you can argue if Chris Streveler was in the game more, the New York Jets could have won or could have scored more points on offense. So the New York Jets definitely should have at least gave Chris Streveler some offensive snaps instead of giving him 0. I have no idea what was up with that. I mean, why make him active for the game and just not even use him? I mean, we use him on special teams, but that's pretty much pointless because, I mean, he didn't do anything on special teams. It just doesn't make sense to me. And, you know, moving on to the bad things the defense did, I don't necessarily say the defense played horrible. We just can't guard tight ends. I mean, ever since the week 14 game against the Buffalo Bills, where Dawson Knox was the leading receiver with 44 yards and scored a touchdown. The New York Jets have struggled with stopping tight ends. And I know LaMarcus Joyner has been hurt over that stretch, and maybe LaMarcus Joyner's absence has been the reason to why the New York Jets have struggled with stopping these tight ends, but it doesn't make sense to why literally no one else on the team can stop them outside of our cornerbacks. I mean, Jordan Whitehead, Tony Adams, Ashton Davis, Will Parks whenever he played. Our linebackers have just struggled at stopping tight ends, and they ate at us today. I mean, a blocking tight end who's never had a catch in his life outside of the one he had today scored a touchdown on us. I mean, how can the New York Jets be that bad at stopping tight ends? It's just absolutely insane. We also did a bad job stopping the ground game today. Seattle was 2 yards shy from having 200 rushing yards on the day. Kenneth Walker finished the day with 133 rushing yards. I mean, they ran all over the New York Jets. And part of that is just because the New York Jets have no other interior defensive lineman that can stop the run outside of Quentin Williams. Sheldon Rankins, Nathan Shepard, Solomon Thomas haven't been getting the job done all season long, and they didn't get it done today. The New York Jets need to add a run-stuffing defensive lineman this offseason. It's a must-have. But that's the good and the bad from today's loss. Obviously, we're eliminated from playoff contention, so who knows what we're going to do in Miami next week. I guess I got to look at the draft now. I mean, I don't know what to do, but yeah, this just was a terrible, terrible game. I mean, what are your thoughts on the game? Comment them down below. Love to hear them. But I'm your host, Juliet, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.